hoping that more, actually, if it wasn't for the Zoom and for the being able to record it, I would have stopped this course. It doesn't make sense when only very very few people join. And
I
I
know.
hope that the rest are following the recordings, because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's useless.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
mean, yeah, they're losing out.
anyway, I'm very happy that you are here. I
And
usually say it's not the quantity, the quality, okay? Whatever. Have you been practicing a little?
I have been practicing a little. I've been reading because I'm trying to get
Yeah.
more familiar with the handwritten forms because my
Uh,
my
uh,
father keeps like testing me and his handwriting with the stacked letters and the way that they look, and so I'm like, it's difficult for me, so I'm trying to get more familiar so that I can read better what
let,
he
let me let me
writes.
tell you something. I think I already said that before. I mean, handwriting is almost extinct.
It's a shame though.
I know, but on one hand, it's a shame. On the other hand, it makes life easier. You don't have to learn in like you're drawing these letters and,
Yeah,
and
but so you have to
like if
understand.
you like drawing, it's wonderful. It's like
Well, yeah, I do. And for me with English,
yeah,
I prefer handwriting nicely in English. I practice it. To me, it's like, I collect pens and I practice like, to me it's like an art form. So if I'm
yes.
going to learn the
Uh,
language,
from
I
this
want
from this
I
point of
want
view, definitely, I
yeah,
can,
I want to
you
learn
can see beautiful Arabic handwriting, unbelievable.
yeah.
And you know that I think I also mentioned that, like, the Muslims are not supposed to paint pictures or make statues, just
Right.
like in the Jewish religion. So what they excelled in writing, like if you've ever been to a mosque or anything like that, you see that there's very very intricate
The
writing,
calligraphy.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
calligraphy, which is almost impossible to read
Very
unless
difficult.
you know what you're going to read
Yeah.
ahead of time, and then you start looking for the letters and so on.
Even
So,
even my father, who of course reads very well, has we've talked about it. He has trouble with some calligraphy. He can make it out, but
yeah,
some that's like really stylized and intricate, he says even he
yes, yes.
cannot.
Well, most of the calligraphy that you see on walls, in mosques, are paragraphs from the Quran.
On, yeah.
Well, yeah. So, like, if somebody is familiar, like, I know some of the Quran, not all of it, of course. So sometimes, there are special verses that that they usually use on mosques. So that's the way I know. But there's some beautiful handwriting. There are people that I know write beautifully, really.
Yeah.
I never wrote very very good anyway. So, but now,
I
since, yeah, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, I was gonna say I have a great appreciation for like nice handwriting and nicely written things, and it's
Okay.
something that I like to do in English. So I'd like to be able to
You know
do the
what? I
same.
have an idea. Since it's a private lesson,
Yeah.
why don't you write something, really? Write whatever,
Okay.
and then take a picture of it and send it to me on WhatsApp, and then I can make some
I
remarks if
can
you
do
like.
that.
All right?
My Yeah, I can do that. I'm
Or maybe you
actually
have something written already. You don't have to work on
I do well, so my like I said, my father likes to test me.
it.
And he gave me sort of like an idea to take like famous songs and
Okay.
write out the lyrics.
Yeah.
So like
For
this
example.
of course is not handwriting. This is like following the way that the printed is for now. But like for example, I don't know how.
Okay. Okay.
Can you tell what it is?
Not bad. Yeah, I know. بنت عمري. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
You write beautifully.
Well, this is me
Yeah,
trying very hard. So this is
very good.
obviously following the printed, and
Yes,
then
yes. Sometimes some of the letters when you write them in handwriting, it's different from the printed.
Yeah, like I'll show you actually. 1 second, since it is a private lesson. Wait.
But remember, everybody will be watching it later on.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
Mm.
So staying with the
Nice.
song, so this was trying to be more using the common what's it called, Rocca, sort of.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how
No,
much
the first paper that you showed me was much better written.
in terms
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
handwriting, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's start the lesson.
Okay.
We have this lesson in another 3 hours. This is lesson number 17, and just as I suggested, next lesson will be next Sunday. It is
Right.
not the holiday. I mean, it's Qal Mu'ayyad, and the lesson afterwards it will be a double lesson, 2 hours in a row. Okay,
Right.
that will be after the Pesach. So today we are going to learn 2 new letters, Lam and Kaf. Okay, L and K. I'll put it here. Um,
I'm familiar enough.
okay, no, but we have to go through
Yeah.
for people who are not familiar with it. Okay, so. Okay. Now Lam, when it's totally free, like when it's at the end of a word and it is not connected, it is written like this. Okay, now
Yeah.
I'll print it to you also as well. Okay, again, go down and go like that. Okay, this is it. Now when it is connected, when it is in the beginning of a word, it goes down and then like that. It doesn't go curved, it just go left. Okay, and when it is in the middle of a word, you go up and then you follow it back with the pen and back and then continue. Okay, I'll do this again. You go up and then with same, you go back on the same line and you continue. Okay, now when it is connected at the end of a letter, you go like that, go up but go down. It is as if this, but it is connected in the middle. Okay, as if it's connected in the middle. I'll do this again. This is the letter before. You go up and then you go down and go with the curve. Okay.
So the beginning and the middle and everything is always above the line, and then at the end it's below the line.
Yes. Now, but here, well, it is half. Okay. When it is connected, half of it is on top of the line, and the other half is under the line. When it is at the end of a word and not connected, it is like this. Okay. All right, like the way it is here. Okay. Now, usually, a lot of people have a problem differentiating between the L and the A and the A. Oh, hey! I thought she was having a private lesson. Oh, I thought somebody else going.
I was silently listening.
Very good, very good. I'm very happy you came. Okay. Well, let me go back. This lesson, we're going to learn 2 new letters, the Lam, the L, and the Kaf, the K. Okay. Now I was telling Nadine that the L, this is the way it looks when it is free. When do you have the letter free? It's when it is the end of a word without connection. Okay. Now, if it's in the beginning of a word, it goes
when
like,
when the nafkha letters are available, yes?
yes, or it's in the beginning of a word.
Okay.
All right. Now, if it's in the beginning of a word, you just go straight line and then go left. Okay. You don't have this curve. Okay. All right. Now, this is in the beginning of a word. Okay. Now, this is in the middle of a word. Like this is a sign that there's a letter before. So you go up, straight line, and go down on the same line and continue. You don't have to take the pen out of the paper. Okay. Now, when it is at the end and it is connected, you go like, you go up and then go down, but go lower under the line. Okay. So this is a special case because usually when you have a connected letter at the end of a word, it is under the line. Here, half of it is over the line, and the other half is under the line. Okay. Now, when it is not connected, it is just like so. It just go like that. Okay. Now, I was telling Nadine that usually a lot of people have a problem between the L and the Alif because they look alike. Okay. But once you see a straight line, you say, is it an Alif or is it a Lam? Okay. And the difference, of course, is if it is connected, then it is a Lam. All right. Because Aleph is not connected. I mean, connected with the letter that comes afterwards. All right. Because in Nafkha, they connect with the letter before, but not with the letter after. Okay. Now I'll show you how it goes. Okay. I'll make it even bigger. Okay. So this is the lamb. All right. This is the lamb, just as I showed you here. Okay. Now, if it's connected to another word, another letter, let's say to a wow, so it goes like that. All right. You see, it's a straight line. It goes down and it connected. You just go left and then connected to the next letter. Okay. Okay. Let me write another word. Um, um, let's say I'm writing a word balah, whatever. So you see how it goes? It's exactly the same. All right. It's a straight line and it connects to the letter before and the letter after. Okay. So if we see this here or here, we're never going to be mixed up between them and the alif because they are connecting to the letter afterwards. Okay. Now, how it looks at the end, let me write a word. It's bel. Okay, now with this font, it is a little bit under the line. Okay, well, it should be more or less, half and half, more or less. But sometimes the font shows it like it's a little bit under the line. This is the line. Okay, where this is the line, so it goes under. And if it is not connected, it is like that. Now, there is something, a new thing that we haven't talked about before. And as if we don't have enough problems with the language, they decided to add two letters together and make them look as if they are one letter. Okay? And these two letters are the lam.
And the aleph, right?
Yeah, plus an alif. Okay, so when you write the lam and the alif together, you get something new, which looks like that. All right. Now, if I write it down here, let me draw it. It goes like that. Now, this part is the lam. Okay, this part is the lam, and this part is an alif. Okay. Now, you have to remember that this is not a letter. These are two letters, and we just connect them together because I think because there are so many. It's so common to have lam and then alif. Okay, just please remember, a lot of people get mixed up and think that's alif and then lam. No, it's a lam and then an alif. All right. Now, there are two independent letters. They can each one have its own vowel. They don't have to be the same vowel. Now, for example, let me write something here. Let me go back to the text. Now, we said lam alif. I can write it lam and then alif, and suddenly it becomes this shape. Now, I can give the lam a vowel as a sukoon, and the alif, I can give it a fatha. Sorry. So I should read this as l-a. Okay. Usually, when I have it like that. You see this a lot. Okay. And so I have to read this l-u, l-a. Sorry, l-a. I have to take into consideration that there are two different letters. Let me write something else for you, which I think maybe you recognize, but I'll make this a little bit smaller so that you can see the vowels. Let me write al-awlad, the children. Okay, so I write this. Okay, now what we have here, these are the two letters that are stuck together, but each one you see has its own vowel. Okay, on the lam we have a sukoon, and on the alif we have hamza and fatha. Okay, so here the alif, we are reading it. We have to pronounce it because it has a hamza. Okay, so far, like I can read this as al-a. Now we meet this again here. Again, lam and alif, but in this case, the lam has got a fatha, and on the alif we don't have a hamza. So the alif here makes the fatha a double vowel. I mean, the alif here is what it does to the word, it is a double vowel for the a. So I read it like al-awlad. Okay. All right. Now this is the way you have to treat the lamed alif. A lot of people really get mixed up with this sometimes. Now it has another shape. This is the shape. There's another shape. Let me try and find it. No, there is another shape. I cannot print it here, but you'll see it. It looks like something like that. Let me try. It looks like something like that. I don't know if you've seen it anywhere. Okay. It looks like that. I think once if I can see some printed text with this shape, so sometimes this is the shape and sometimes that's the shape. Okay. If it is not connected, it looks like this. If it's connected, like that. Okay. But forget about it. All right. I just wanted you to know the different shapes of lam and what happens when lam and alif get together. Okay. Now, the second letter, I'm going to clear everything. The second letter that we are going to study today, okay, is the kaf, ka. Okay, now ka has got two different shapes, okay, only two different shapes. One is like that, okay, as if it's got a hamza in the middle, all right, okay. Now the other shape is you see? You see how it shows? Now, this is the shape in the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word. Well, it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of a word, if it's connected or not connected. This is the way it shows. This is only at the end of a word, either connected or not connected, okay? I'll show you later. I wrote a few words using the K and the L, okay? And I will show it to you. Let me bring it up, okay? Can you see the words here? You do? Okay. Now you see here, the K is in the beginning of a word, okay? Now K here is in the middle of a word, and it looks exactly the same, right? Now here is K at the end of a word.
No, we can't see the words.
Oh, you can see? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Okay, I will have to stop share and then share again. Okay, now you can see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you see the K here in the middle. Let's first see the lam. Okay, lam here is in the middle, in the beginning of a word. Okay, remember. Now here in the middle of a word when it is not connected, because first we had an alif and it is nafkha. Now here lam is in the middle of a word and looks exactly the same like when it's in the beginning. Okay, now here is the lam at the end of a word. Okay, now I don't know if I wrote something when lam is connected. I'll write you something. Now here's the ka in the beginning of a word. Okay, here's ka in the middle of a word. And here is ka at the end of a word. Okay, and you see how they are different. Okay, two shapes for the ka, and for the lam, you got. I'll write you another word. Where is the okay, now here the lam is connected, you see? The lam here is connected and here is not connected. Okay. So when it is connected, it connects more or less in the middle of a word so that some of the letter is under the line. Okay. All right. So we conclude the ka has got two different shapes. The shape in the beginning and the middle of a word. All right. And the ka has got the other shape when it is at the end of a word, regardless of whether it is connected or not. Okay. Now, the lam has got a shape in the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word, got the same shape. At the end of a word, if it is connected, some of it goes under the line, and if it is not connected, all of it is over. All right? Any questions? You're happy?
No, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay. So let's try to read Nadine. Try to please read this word.
Kalb.
Kelb. Yes.
Kalb.
Kelb. All right. Kelb, which means
Dog, right?
dog. Now try to read this word. This we studied last time.
Kalb.
Qalb. Now,
Heart,
for many people who cannot pronounce the qa, it sounds exactly the same. Kalb
Right.
and qalb, which are completely different. Okay.
Kalb.
Try to read this word.
Kaburi. Kabura. Kabura. No?
You don't have to use a double vowel.
Kabra. Kabura.
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 If you say kabura, it means you're using a double vowel on the
Right.
da. Just a simple dhamma. Okay, now try to read this.
Katib. Katib. Katib.
That's
Katib.
much better. Katib. Tib,
Yeah.
not katib, not
Yeah.
but e. Katib.
Kat.
Kabura, by the way, means grown up. Okay. You know the word kabir, which is big, became bigger. And katib has got two meanings. One of them is a clerk. The other one is an author, somebody who writes books. Katib, okay? Try to read this one.
Katab. Katab.
Give it a dhamma, its word.
Kutab. Right?
Much better. Kutab.
Kutab.
Kutab means writer, something like that. Okay, kutab. Sorry, your name is written as Aaron Kaplan.
No, that's my son,
I know.
Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia, can you please read this word?
Qalb.
Which is?
Heart.
Heart, okay.
Qalb.
Qalb. Do you know what that meaning?
A mold?
Yes, very good, very good. That's what you use for cakes.
Right.
Sorry.
Yuqlib. Yuqlib.
Slowly. On the ya, you cut a fatha.
Yaqlib.
Okay, and there is no there's e. Yaqlib.
Yaqlib.
Yaqlib, which means turn around, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yutqallab.
I know that's the way you are used to this word, but try to use the vowels.
Yataqallab.
That's very good. Okay, he tosses back and forth. That means he tosses. Okay, back and forth, like go around. Okay, and Nadine, please.
Le ka. Lukka? Look, I don't know.
Just you know, just follow the letters one at a time, okay? And with the vowel, the first letter is lam, of course, and it got
Right.
a kasra, so it's li.
Li.
Okay, now the second letter is a ka, of course, and got a fatha, so li ka. All right?
Li. Okay.
Li ka. Now
Li.
the ya has got a sukoon, so
You don't pronounce it really,
you do,
right?
you just touch it. So the word is likai.
Say it again.
Likai.
Likai. Okay.
Likai, which means so that. Okay, so that. I mean, like this is the reason why I'm doing this. Likai. Okay. Okay. Now try to read this word.
Harakat. Harakat.
Harakat.
Harakat.
Harakat. Okay.
Harakat.
Which means movements. Okay. It also means vowels. When the fatha, dhamma, kasra, they call harakat. Okay.
Okay.
Because they move the letters. All right. Now try to read this one.
Yupki.
Yeah.
Is that like crying?
Yes. Yabki is the third pronoun, third person. So yabki, like he is crying. Yabki. Okay. Cynthia, please.
Yubarak. Yubarik.
Very good. Which means, you know.
To congratulate.
As well, but like.
Blessed.
Bless, yeah, bless. Yeah, but we also use it as like Mubarak. It means like God is blessing you. Okay. But Yubarik is blessed. Yes. Okay. Now try to one.
Yataharrak.
Very good. Which means?
To move.
Very good. Moves. Like this is for like a third person also. Taharrak.
Yafuruku. Yafuruku.
Yafruku. Yafruku, which means
to rub.
Rub, exactly. Okay, very good.
Can I ask you, how would you write Layla? The name.
Okay, I will. I'll write it to you, and there is something that since you brought it up, I'll talk about it as well.
Because it's my mother's name.
Okay.
Lili or Layla? Lili Marat Sihla Marat Layla.
Okay. Now we'll stop. We'll get back to this. Now this is Layla. Okay, this is the way you write Layla. And this is Lam, Ya, Lam, and this is, I don't know if we haven't talked about this, have we? Something that looks exactly like a Ya, but got no dots under
That's
it.
the Aleph Maksura?
Exactly.
I don't think we talked about it though.
We didn't. And Cynthia, do you know what's Alif Maksura?
I'm listening.
Yeah. Maksura is like a shortened Alif. For some reason, they invented this letter, which looks exactly like a Ya. It is always only at the end of a word, never in the middle, always only at the end, and always only when the letter before it has got a fatha. These are the rules for using the Alif Maksura. Now, I could have written Layla like that.
Right. That's what I thought.
It doesn't, this automatically changes the Lamed Aleph to this shape. But if I was writing it, I wouldn't write it like that. Anyway, they don't like this. They don't like words that end with an a, except if they're in verbs or when you got doubles. So they invented this. I'm trying to be their advocate, but whatever, this is the way the alif maqsura, you usually have it in names like Musa, Isa. You
Oh,
always,
okay.
it finishes in alif maqsura. You have some words like ala on top of, also you have an alif maqsura. I don't know whether there is a rule where to use the alif maqsura, but the rules of if you put the alif maqsura, it's always at the end of a word. It's always the letter before it has got to have a fatha. Okay, these are the rules, and usually in names you use that. Okay, so this is something else that we haven't talked about. We haven't talked about also of something else which is a little different, which is ta marbuta. Another thing that I hope that we'll talk about it and okay. So
Can you give an example of that? Just
ta marbuta,
yes.
yeah. Okay, let's say kura. Okay.
Ah,
The ha with
This thing is called ta marbuta.
marbuta.
Usually it's a sign for the feminine, or the word is feminine. Usually it's a feminine, and usually you don't read it at all. Like you read this word as kura, as if this does not exist, unless we have a vowel on top of it. Then you read it as if a regular ta, alif ba ta. You have to
Okay.
read it like that.
Okay.
And what else? If for some reason you have another letter to connect it, let's say kura is a ball. If I want
Right.
to say my ball, I would write it like that. There is some magic happens.
Hmm.
What happens? This ta, which is almost negligible, transforms into a regular ta the minute
Wow.
I add something to it, to the word.
Wow.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, usually I teach reading and writing in something like 35 lessons, and we're doing it in such a short time. So I didn't get to these things, but this is of course a part of things you should know.
By the
Okay.
way, I'm sorry to ask, is this the last class of the session, and do we sign up starting May 1st or 2nd?
No. We have another 3 lessons to go.
Okay.
And this is not spoken Jewish Arabic. This is the classical Arabic or universal Arabic. We have another 3 lessons. We'll have next Sunday another lesson, and 2 weeks from now we're going to have a double lesson, 2 hours.
Next Sunday is Pesach here.
I know it's Pesach as well, but it's not a Chag. It's Chol HaMoed.
Oh, it's
So
Moed,
people
because
work.
we have. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we have another 2 meetings. One will be 1 hour, which is next week, and the other one will be 2 hours in 2 weeks' time, and then we will finish. What I'm starting in May 1st is 2 different courses. One is another 5 lessons for the Jewish Arabic course that is finishing today, and then a new course in Jewish Arabic starting 1st of May. All right. But
So
for
where
us,
do I sign up? Where do I sign up? On the phone?
you want to continue with another 5 lessons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You sign up with me. I you'd like me to add you to the WhatsApp group? I will. Okay. I will.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. And then I wrote already for the group in. You took part in the Jewish Arabic class, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you're new.
My daughter did.
Oh, so you want to start the new one?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'll write it down, and I'll add you for the new. Okay.
Thank you.
I
Because
thought
it's not clear from the
Yeah.
email or the WhatsApp. I was
Okay.
confused.
Okay, okay, fine. I'm not sure that I have your phone number. Yes, please send it to me
Okay.
on my private
Okay.
WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll
Yes.
add you up.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to here. We said that's Zrab. Now Nadine again.
Lakaitu.
Yes, very good. Laqaitu.
Lakaitu. Yeah, the throat.
Laqaitu, which means,
Lakaitu.
do you know what it means?
I sort of. Hold on. I do know, but it's right there.
Okay, never mind. You
What
don't
is-
have to really. I found.
I found.
Yeah. Okay. Now try to read this one. It looks similar, but not really.
Al-Kaitu.
Yeah.
And that is what?
No. Read it again.
Al-Kaitu.
Yeah, al-Kaitu. For some reason, you don't say al, you say all.
Al. Okay, yeah.
Okay. No, you have to say all sometimes when you say Allah. Okay.
Right.
All right, but not always. Like nahal. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes just like Paul thing. Al-Qaitu. Al-Qaitu means I threw. I'm throwing something. Al-Qaitu.
Like throwing something away or like throwing a ball?
Yeah. Throw it away or throw it far. Al-Qaitu. Okay, now this is easy. All right, now you can relax.
Kalla.
Oh, come on.
What?
Go on, read it. This is the double vowel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kala.
Yeah. And make it also cooler. Kala.
Kala.
Yeah, you don't have to say Kala. Kala, which means?
Like I told?
He said. Kala is for third person. Okay. Third person singular masculine. Kala. Okay. Said in the past tense. Now to read this one.
Yakulu.
Yes.
Yakulu.
Again?
Yakulu.
No, there is no double vowel. No emphasis.
But it's
no shadda. Dhamma.
There, it's followed by a wow. So doesn't that lengthen it?
Of course, but doesn't make it. You don't have to emphasize.
Okay. So Yakulu.
You don't have to say Yaqullu. Yaqulu. Okay. On the L, we don't have a shadda. It's just a simple dhamma. Okay. Yaqulu. All right.
Yaqulu. Because I keep trying to make that the throat sound so it comes out.
No, you know, it's not many people can do this, but you do this like overtime. You know, sometimes you don't have to use this.
Yeah. Okay.
Not many people are able to do this, but I think that once you're doing it so well, you try to use it the whole time. No, sometimes it just I call it cold, like yaqulu, not yaqulu. All right, yaqulu is
yaqulu.
What does it mean? You know?
I'm guessing something to do with eating. Eating?
No. قال is saying in the past tense. يقول is he says in the
Saying.
present tense.
Okay.
Present and future, you use it both. Okay. يقول. Okay, he is saying. Okay. Now, Cynthia, you will not have any problem with this word, although it is a long word.
يتزحلق.
No. Slowly. Take one letter at a time.
يتزحلق.
Read it in all the in one piece.
يتزحلق.
No. Sorry, Cynthia. Take one letter at a time.
يا
Yeah.
تا
Yeah.
زا
So far we have yataza. Okay.
يتزا
Now.
حلق.
No. The ha is sukun. Yatazah.
يتزحلق.
Very good. Now it's okay. يتزحلق.
يتزحلق.
Very good.
يتزحلق.
And I'm sure you know what it means.
To slide.
Very good. Yeah. Okay. As we say in Jewish Arabic, يتزحلق. Okay.
يتزحلق.
يتزحلق. Okay. Now.
يحلق. يحلق.
يحلق. Maybe you don't know the meaning of this word. It means
To
fly.
shave?
To fly.
What?
To fly in the air.
يحلق. Oh, really?
يحلق.
I had no idea.
I know.
يحلق.
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 Okay, and now we don't have an we have an either e. يحلق. يحلق, like you can say the planes in the sky.
Oh.
الطائرة تحلق في السماء. تحلق. Okay, now try this one.
يخلق. يخلق.
يخلق, which means?
To create.
Very good. Okay, going back to you, Nadine, you're working hard, both of you today.
Arabic is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay.
Qabla.
Very good. Qabla. Aren't you okay with the qab?
Think so.
Qabla.
Qabla.
Very good. And this we already. You remember this is.
Yeah. Layla.
Very good.
Can I ask you a question? Just going back to that for a second. You said if the letter before has a fatha, it ends in the alif maksura. Now, is it that words that don't, so can a word end on an alif if the letter before it does not have a fatha? Or does it?
Okay, let's go back. The principle, I'm not telling you, it is not very clear. There are words that end with alif maqsura, and there are words that do not end with alif maqsura.
Okay.
But what I wanted you to know, that the words that do end with alif maqsura, first of all, the alif maqsura is always only at the end of a word.
Right.
And only if the letter before it has a fatha. It doesn't mean that every time we have a letter that with a fatha and then an a after it, it must mean that this a should be alif maqsura. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that alif maqsura is something that you usually use when you write names. Okay? Usually when you have names, most of the time when you have names, but it has to be only if the letter before it has a fatha. Okay? This is the rule. I'm not telling you where to use the alif maqsura, because sometimes you have many words that have a fatha on the letter before the alif, and still you have an alif. Okay,
Even
like
if it ends in the, and it can end in the alif.
Yes. Let me give you an example. Even it's here. I think here we know all these letters. Try to read this. Nadine.
يتلاقى
يتلاقى. يتلاقى. Okay, this is a long vowel here and a long vowel here. يتلاقى. I told you something like in everything, every word, and even every verb, there is a conjugation for two, or a couple.
Right. Yeah.
يتلاقى, it means they met when we're talking about two. More than two, I would say يتلاقوا. Okay, يتلاقوا, like that. Also,
How about Allah?
just a minute. I want to show you something else that you wouldn't believe. Okay, now this is just for two. Okay, when it is two, okay. Now this is three or more, okay. All right. Now, for every verb, you have a conjugation for two. For every item, you have two items. Let's say kitab. Two books are kitabain. Okay. Let's say we have a pen, qalam, qalamain. Okay. For kursi, kursiyain. Okay. You say ain. Okay. Now, yatalaqa or talaqa if it's in the past tense. Now, if we have three or more, then it's them, him, whom, yatalaqu. Now see what we have here is something very peculiar. You see at the end we have an alif, but we don't read it. We don't read it. We have an alif at the end of the verb, which is a sign that we are talking about plural, okay, but we don't read it. All right. Now this is something, and you know, I told you, I think about sometimes we have an alif like, okay, we didn't got this one. Okay. Cynthia, can you please read this word?
ذلك.
Why did you say ذلك?
Because it has a fatha.
No? By the way, you know, you read it the right manner, but it is not written as ذلك, it is written as ذلك.
ذلك. ذلك.
Right? No, but you read it in the right fashion. You said ذلك. You know why? Because there is a hidden alif. You know, they want to make your life very interesting. So sometimes there are hidden alifs that they are not there, but you should read them. And sometimes there are alifs who are there, but you're not supposed to read them. Doesn't that make life very interesting?
Very.
We haven't read. I think we didn't get the hay yet, right? We haven't studied the hay.
No.
But you have. I'll show you. This is not a very special case, but I'll show you something. I think this is the most difficult letter. This is ha, the, and this is the. We haven't studied this, the hay yet. Okay. But also you see hey here with the fatha, which is a single vowel. But when you
Right.
read it, you read hadihi. Also
Hadi.
here, there's a hidden alif.
Right.
Now, there are no rules where to hide the alif and where not to, and you have to learn it just by practice. Okay, so sometimes there are very few words like that where you like Rahman. Okay, as a word, Abdul Rahman. Also Rahman, you don't have an alif, but you read it. For some reason, they chose a few words and then they took the alif away, and you are supposed to know this just by looking at the word. Okay, so sometimes we have alifs like that, and sometimes even we have a wow that we don't pronounce, like also we don't know. Yes.
No, sorry.
Okay. Like there's a name, Omar. You've heard this name, but you don't. We haven't studied the name yet. This is the way it should be written, but you have another wow at the end, as if it's Omro, but we don't read this wow. There are many exceptions like that. For some reason, sometimes they write a letter that you are not supposed to read, only to see. Okay? Okay.
How do you write Allah?
Allah. 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 Now, there is something very interesting about this word.
I was always trying to figure it out.
Okay. There is something very peculiar about this word.
Double lamb and a ha, right?
Now see what's happening.
Ha.
Try to follow me. Okay. Now this is the first lamb. Now this is the second lamb.
Right.
Now it's finished with. Now see there is magic. You see that it's changed its shape. This happens only when you write Allah. Okay, you write it. I think it happens always. It doesn't matter which keyboard you have. Once you get here, it changes shape, and it has to be this kind of shape. There's another thing, another kind of shape. But anyway, you cannot write Allah just like that. You remember I said one L, second L. Okay, once I put the hey, then it changes shape.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like magic.
But how come this has shadda and the other one doesn't?
No, because this is not the right way. I mean, this is the right way. Okay. Because if I didn't specify, there's a fatha here, and this small line here on top, it's just telling us that there is an alif that is hidden, so it's Allah. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is something that's really, this only happens in this word. It doesn't matter how how slowly you write it, suddenly it turns shape into this
Wow.
this shape. Okay, this is the way if you see it written, it doesn't matter where, it's always this shape. It doesn't have like the regular lamb and hay. No, it has to be this.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back a little. All right, Nadine, you haven't read this word. Try to read it.
Yubarak.
Very good, which means to bless. To bless.
Bless.
Right.
Okay.
Try this one.
Yataharak.
Very good. Which means moves. Okay.
Uh, Yafruku,
Yafruku,
Fruku,
which means, to, how do you say?
To rub,
To rub.
to
Exactly.
rub.
Exactly. Okay. Now, let me see. Cynthia, please read this word.
Kutab,
You see that here's the shadda.
kutab,
Kuttab. Very good.
kutab, kutab.
Kuttab. Now this word.
يتقلب.
Very good. Very good. You're very good, really, Cynthia. You have a lot of,
I left in first grade, but I have good memories.
wonderful, wonderful. You have very good vocabulary, everything. Okay, ladies, I enjoyed our private
Thank
session.
you. It's always great, really. Kol hakavod.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
so Nadine, I'll meet you in half an hour.
yes.
Okay. And Cynthia, you're going to send me your phone number and I'll add
Yes.
you and tell you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
My
Chag
pleasure.
Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.